I don't know. I'm waiting. There it is. I'm waiting to see the little eyes that anyone's watching, and then
really? The eyes don't make the eyes do not come up for me. I just see the live and the
I can see the eyes. Okay, hello. You are listening / maybe watching the Receipts podcast. It's a dating podcast with evidence, and I'm your host Jenny Gorlick, and I'm here with my producer, the incredible.
Oh yes, Andrew. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing?
I'm good. Great. Even this morning I went and I got a pair of jeans from my favorite vintage store because I ruined a pair of jeans tragically.
But that feels good to get a new pair of jeans.
I love getting a new pair of jeans. It feels like I have my whole life ahead of me.
Oh my God. Yeah. I bought just masks today online.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, that was like, when you purchase something like that, it does feel nice.
It does feel really good. I love shopping. It's bad. Yeah. I like it too much. So where did you get the mask from?
Where did I get them from? Oh my gosh. Let me see my.
You have to plug it because what if the listeners want to know?
Plug. Oh my God. Where is this email? Oh, it was really perfect. I cannot find it.
List. They're used.
I can't even find it right now. Maybe it's in my promotions folder. Oh yes, it was in my promotions folder. Okay. It's outdoor research.
Oh,
outdoor research.
I've never heard of that. Are they like scientifically based?
I don't even know what research even mean.
What research are they conducting?
Outdoor research. I just like the fact that they that they had the like, what is it called? Where adjustable strings.
Oh,
you know?
Yes.
So it's like a little like notch where you can like. Because I don't know, I have a bigger head than most people, so
and I have a smaller head than most people.
Yeah.
So both of us use an adjustable string for sure. I use the tie ones sometimes, but then I get so frustrated when I've untied to drink my drink and then I need to retie when I'm going on to the next location.
Yeah, because I was using medical masks since March, and I would just like throw them out. I guess like every like 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so then like now obviously I'm dwindling down, and I just wanted something.
Feel like a nurse?
Yeah, it's like it's also, I don't know, I like seeing people that just have the black just very neutral masks. You know, they look cute. They look cuter than the medical ones.
Simple in style, I'd say. Very
simple in everything across the board.
Meanwhile, I'm like, I would like wild patterns and embroidery and, you know, sparkles on my mask.
Do you think that like people are like sort of phasing out of those like louder masks, or
why? They're long term. We're going to be wearing masks on half our face for another 6 months.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I feel like people,
we phase out?
Because I'm just like, okay, we're maturing out of. No,
I'm acting out. I need people to remember that I have personality.
Sure.
On the second half of my face, that's hidden.
Yeah,
you're covering my mouth, but you can't cover my personality.
That is a pull quote.
That's what I feel with masks. So actually, I have all my masks hanging in my hallway. And Jeffrey came over and was like, "Wow, you have such a mask collection." I'm like, "Yeah, you can't stop style."
Yeah, and I'm literally, I was like probably on like 8 different tabs of the most neutral masks that every single company had to offer, and I think I found the most neutral and best fitting for me. So
wow,
thank you.
I'm so happy to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm really happy to hear it. Also, today you registered to vote. That's
my God. Yeah, that was going to be my receipt. Thank you.
Okay, great. Oh my God.
My receipt being yesterday. I mean, by the time you're listening to this, I mean, you won't be able to register.
Right. It's too late. By the time you're listening to this, it's far too late. I hope you've already registered.
Yeah. I hope that you're not getting your political advice, your political information solely from the Receipts podcast. That would seem pretty dangerous. But yeah, so I tried calling yesterday. about my registration that I thought I was registered. It was this whole thing. It made me actually like depressed because I was like, I hate being on the phone, especially when they're saying things. When they keep on saying state names, I don't like that.
Okay.
And
in terms of press 3 for Virginia.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of, and I was like connected to a lot of volunteers, and I was like, I really want to be patient with these volunteers because obviously they're volunteers, but it's like, if it's a volunteer's first day, I want to like give them time to make it seem like, okay, you did your best. But I'm like, there's only so much time I have, you know?
Right. You have actually a day before you miss your deadline. And ultimately you want to vote. You want to be a registered voter and vote at the end.
That was ultimately my goal, is to vote. It is a big deal to vote, as people say. And
vote or die.
Vote or die. And I would not choose death over.
No, we're not choosing death this time. We're choosing fucking vote.
Yeah, but no,
Jenny would vote for Joe Biden. I'm just clarifying for any listener.
Oh yes,
if you're considering voting for Trump, then just make sure that you vote on November 4th.
Oh yeah, I think that is the deadline. Like that's actually the day to do it.
That's the day to vote if you're voting for Trump, actually.
But yeah, Jenny was very helpful. You, Jenny.
Me personally.
you were very helpful in delivering the information that I needed to vote in a very concise and thoughtful, and it was just like, okay, clear vision way, and it was like, okay, we've got it. If that doesn't work, we got this, you know?
Yeah, you need to have action plans, because if you're not able to register in person in New York for whatever reason, because ultimately, if you don't have a driver's license in the state that you're trying to register, it's hard to do it online. Yeah. So I recommend going in person. Although if you're listening to this now, it's too late, probably. Yeah. And then if not, then I guess you're a Jersey voter.
If not, yeah, that's fine. That's also okay.
Gorgeous. The great state of New Jersey.
Yeah. Do you have any receipts?
Not really. It's been a very... mostly it's been a big week for hot merch and just feeling like, wow, I've never been more of an online retailer in my life. So not really. I've mostly been doing that this week, and I'm like, it's become so big, which is amazing. Like I'm really proud of how big it's gotten and how many people are coming out saying that they're supporting Joe Biden by purchasing merch. I mean, like a bucket hat doesn't make a huge difference, but
like you see it, and it's like,
yeah, you see it.
I mean, like one of the things that really like sold me on like, okay, like voting, yes, is absolutely real, is someone's mask that said like fucking vote or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, okay, the mask says it.
Yeah, the mask said I have to vote, and I'm going to listen to that person's mask.
Right. And it was, I guess, you know, bringing it back to before, it was a more out there mask.
A louder mask. And it made a difference.
And it made a difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Huge.
Beautiful.
That's how we got there.
Yeah.
So beautiful. But I wish I had fun and flirty receipts. I just feel like I mostly feel anxious until the election's over.
Well, your receipts are like
after that too.
The receipts that you have are literal receipts of
literally the receipts of people making purchases.
You wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, they're actually receipts.
Yeah.
Wow. But I'm so excited about our guest today.
Oh my God.
She's hilarious. She's an icon. She hosts her own podcast called Unemployed with Anna and is the host of HQ Trivia. So you might have seen her. You might have won some cash from her before. We gotta welcome Anna Roisman.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks, guys. You guys made me want to vote.
Did we?
I wasn't sure until today, but I'm sure now. I'm sure I'm gonna do it.
No. Okay, good. I'm glad we're getting the young people.
It's like not even I'm very young, so I was really unsure like, what to do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love voting.
Today. I'm voting today.
You are voting today?
Mm-hmm.
How are you voting today?
I'm voting via the mail because I'm voting absentee ballot for Pennsylvania because I'm from Philadelphia. So
amazing.
Wow.
That was a choice.
That's a great place to vote.
Thank you. I thought so too.
Yeah. No, it is. It's good. It's a purple state. Anna, your vote makes a difference.
I know. My vote counts just
Your
like
vote
all of
counts.
yours.
Okay, make sure if you have a double envelope that it goes in the double envelope.
I know. I gotta make sure.
No naked ballots.
No.
No.
We
like
you can
ballots.
vote naked, but you send it in.
Yeah, with an envelope.
Yeah.
I'm voting absentee ballot too.
Nice. Where?
Here. I'm voting absentee ballot here, but I'm dropping it off. So I'm just voting.
Okay.
I'm voting early basically and dropping it off in one of the drop-off boxes at, the county office for the Board of Elections. Very exciting.
Very.
But I'm doing that because I am going to poll work on November 3rd.
Yeah, that's great. I have a lot of friends who I keep seeing are doing that, and I think that's awesome.
I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a very difficult and stressful day, especially because I found this out in training, but they assign you someone who's a registered Republican as your partner. So it's bipartisan. So like I'm going to be sitting at a table with a Republican for hours from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m. I'm not going to start some shit. We're literally not allowed to talk about it, but I'm just
hopefully they you can talk about a TV show you like or something else.
I don't know.
I know what is like a politically like neutral television series? Like oh God.
Sex and the City. Emily in Paris.
Emily in Paris.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're probably not going to talk very much at all because ultimately they don't believe in my values. So, or the right.
You should come in with like a story. You've done improv. I think you should go in with a story and just be like, I'm getting an abortion tomorrow. That's like not funny, but it's also like it's an icebreaker, you know?
No, but like also like have like a 9-month stomach as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Wear a huge pregnancy pad and be like, I'm getting an abortion. Like, you're absolutely the problem.
Or just come back with a positive test, go to the bathroom and come back and be like, can you believe this? What do I do?
I'm ultimately giving them immersive theater at my poll working site.
Oh my God, improv everywhere.
Right? And just test how long until they kick you out.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm
sad. Mortified, but I love the creativity. Anna, how are you? How has your quarantine been?
I'm good. It's been all right. I feel like life hasn't really changed in like 1,000 years. Because I've been here the whole time. So I've seen it like kind of change. I've seen New York change seasons from the window of my apartment, which is lovely. I shouldn't say window. I do have a little balcony, and it has saved me in quarantine.
That's so chic.
Outdoor space is like, whoo, yeah. It's been great. I don't know. I mean, it's been just like, a roller coaster. I don't know how to answer that anymore.
I would say, I think that's fair. I think a roller coaster is fair and truthful. It's one of those ones where like sometimes people fly out of it. Like it's a roller coaster where like sometimes like you might lose your sunglasses and your shoes and maybe a person.
Right. But we're okay. We're healthy. We're poorer than usual and life goes on. Yeah.
100%. And you've been the whole time living with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Jared and I have been quarantining. We've been together. I guess it's over 200 days at this point. The other day he said happy 200 days, and I don't remember what day that was, but it was recently that happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like marking on a calendar. We've been together in our apartment for 200 days.
Yeah. Well, I remember like I saw on Instagram, someone was like happy 100 days of like quarantine or something. And I was like, I thought about it and I thought, how many days have we actually been together? Because we haven't spent a night apart. I mean, we left the city a couple times now, but not until the summer. And but still we left together. So we've literally spent every goddamn day together,
Wow. For 200 days.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. You guys are like Tom Hanks and Wilson.
Yeah, part of me is like, we would probably sleep with other people if given the chance. But then again, I'm like, I never want it to end. I've said both. It's
been going well then, so it's been nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been good. yeah, it's been fine. I wish we had a bigger apartment. I think that would have made it like a lot easier, but you know.
Well, how big is your
One
balcony space?
Yeah.
It's nice. It's in my office all summer. Like I literally like, well, you know, I have a table and chairs. I do work out there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, furniture sized.
Wow.
Huge.
Yeah. It's not huge. It's, you know, it's
no, but it's
a huge deal. Yeah.
Huge deal. Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, it made me like New York more because I don't think I'll ever want to live anywhere here without an outdoor space again. Like it's really like, you know, it's like when you live in, like I lived in LA and it's like, I don't think I'll ever want to live there without a pool. There's like little things you're like, nope, this has made the list. Like I'm okay with laundry in my building, but like I need to have some kind of outdoor space.
I love that it's in LA. I'm not living in LA without a pool, but I'm not living in New York without a balcony space that can fit a table and 2 chairs. Like, that
very different.
Doesn't match up. I don't know.
In my head it did, but I guess out loud it sounds fucked up.
So how long have you and Jared been dating?
4 years.
Wow.
It's been 4 years. I know. I'm his longest relationship at this point, but he's not mine.
Good.
Oh.
You need to have that power dynamic a little bit.
You know, I say it and I think it's probably very hurtful for me to say to him, you know, say that to him. But at the same time, well, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's just the year.
I know. Also, when you were chatting, I found more receipts that I can bring into the conversation. So
I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Are some from Jared or are they other people?
I have one from Jared that I found.
Oh, I do want to. I feel like if we're talking about Jared, I want to hear that.
What did I find from Jared? What if I didn't? What if I'm like every day is a receipt from Jared? Hold on.
And you met because of a comedy related something, right?
Yeah, so we met at UCB East, unfortunately. I don't really tell many people that. But you know, I was judging an improv competition. That's a thing that happened. It was called Indie Cage Match.
R.I.P. to all of that.
I guess, yeah. And it was like they have comedians come to like judge it, I guess, like to pick your favorite team. And he was on one of the teams, and like afterwards we were hanging out in the bar and our friend was like trying to set us up because she knew we were both single, but it was weird. She like brought me over to him and was like, meet my friend Jared. Like he's single, you're single, that you guys should hang out. And I don't like that. And I was hooking up with someone. I was hooking up with a lot of people at the time. That was my sluttiest I had ever been when I met him.
Important.
Yeah. Very important. Yeah. So my brain was just like, okay, like nice to meet you. And then she like put us on a group chat because we were all going to try and get Hamilton tickets. Like she was like planning for us to sleep out to get Hamilton tickets. And which I would never actually do. I was on this like group chat, and then like he like got my number separate from the group chat through her and texted me. But yeah, that night we met, I left to go to I was like, I gotta go, guys. Like I'm going to a music show. Like I was way too cool to hang out with improv people. I was like hooking up with,
I
was hooking up with a drummer who had a show in like on Bowery, and
at like Rockwood
or like Bowery Electric, one of those places. And then so I left to go do that while they were all like getting drinks at this like diner after the improv show. So that was funny. So I was like too cool, you know.
Yeah, sorry, I'm seeing a drummer. I don't have time for this yes-anding.
I told them that. I was just like, I have to go give a concert. Bye.
Wait, I feel like we had just completely breezed past how did he do? Did he win?
At the improv show? I don't even remember.
I mean, does he not remember? Like, I feel like, wouldn't you recall like how he was? You know?
I don't. You know, that's the thing. I really didn't want to date anybody who goes near improv. Like those were the only people I had hooked up with for like 3 years. So I was like, my eyes, like I was trying to break. Clearly, this was the moment where I was trying to break free from that. I think in the mix at that time, I probably was hooking up with like 1 or 2 comedy people, but like I was like not actively seeking them. So I just like turned my brain off. I think I was there to do the job, a judge, and I don't remember who won.
Wow.
Yeah, you were there to judge. You weren't looking for anyone to like have like any favors in the competition.
No, I
Also, like
wasn't.
non-impressionable. Yeah.
I wasn't. It was like a night where I think I was more focused on like my date afterwards. And I was like, how do I dress for like going to UCB improv show, but then also looking cute for like seeing this guy after? Like that was where my brain was at. So then I meet him and I was like, oh, cool. Like I thought he was attractive. And my friend was annoying when she set us up. She, you know, she was like, here you go. And I was like, no, I don't like this. So I think that's also the best way to meet people is when you literally have absolutely no plans or interest or you have another agenda and like, great, you meet someone and like, I didn't know I'd date him.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the best when like the pressure is off. You're not like when you go in hoping that it's going to be something. Yeah. That's when you get disappointed. So when it's a surprise, that's really nice.
It was very, and it was very easy. That was the thing. Like I usually like really difficult people who don't know how to text or are very like, I like guys who suck at like communication. I think I did for a little while and like bad boys.
Right. Yeah.
He was like nice. And there was never any issues. And like we texted when we were like making plans. We didn't text all day long. I really discourage that. I think people text too much and then you have all these like, it's like, then what are you talking about? You have all these expectations and this and that. You're like, you're so great on text. Why aren't we, you know, I don't know. So
no, I totally agree.
Yeah, we didn't really text all, like we texted, we caught up, but it wasn't like a constant, you know, all day long, let's fucking bother each other. And then it was just very easy. And we like went out a couple times and we like ended up seeing each other at a couple of different like events that week, like which wasn't planned necessarily. And we were like, oh, you're going to this. Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, and so we'd get dinner after or whatever. So it was like, it just kind of like happened. And then I just stopped seeing, you know, all my other men at the moment.
Yeah. All those men,
I brag about that because I was so prude my whole life. And I had one boyfriend basically my whole life. And then I like was single. I was like the 40-year-old virgin.
That's good though. I mean, you need to do that before you have a 4-year relationship or longer, you know, otherwise we'd be sitting here now being like, well, I never got to have my slutty phase.
I know, but I like didn't, it came at a very weird time because my ex and I were together for 8 years.
Wow.
So then it was like, I don't know how to be single. I've never really, like, I can tell you, I've gone on like 2 first dates in my life. Like I've never been on a dating app. I want someone to write that article about. I've literally never been on a dating app. I've never been on a site or anything.
You're like untouched by Tinder.
Wow.
I am. I'm clean. No, but it was weird because I didn't want to date after we broke up. I was really in shock for a while. So I was kind of a mess, but I also was like going on an app. I didn't care to date anyone. I was like, I'm fine right now. I need to be alone.
That's insane. Like that you had multiple people that you met exclusively offline that you were having sex. That's like literally, it's so hard. Maybe like 1 or 2 people that I've ever even like kissed, like is like not been from online. That's insane. Yeah.
It kind of does not compute.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you rewind to like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I'd say, like meeting people online and seeing someone who's like married or engaged, and you're like, yeah, we met on an app. That was like, wow, so they do work. Like people were so like shocked to hear that, like, you know, the apps are working, or like, you know, because I had a friend who met his now wife on Tinder and like they, you know, went out and got married and have a kid now. And it's like, oh my God, like that worked back then. And so now when you guys are like, wait, you met people in the real world and hooked up with them? Like we don't talk in the real world. Yeah. It's so funny how it's shifted, I feel like.
I know. We're digital babies. We're going to start just meeting people via hologram.
The screen time is through the roof. Yeah.
Now if someone's like, I met someone in real life, I'm like, oh my God, are they in a mask? Like what, how were you far away? Like don't meet people in real life.
100%. You're like, were they tested?
Yeah. Now I'm suggesting like, please meet online a couple times before you risk your health to, you know, have sex with someone.
I agree. I agree.
So but Jared, it was weird.
So that's really nice though that you met Jared organically through your annoying but like right friend.
Yeah.
She was.
I'm sorry,
She
my
was
light
right.
is bad.
She should get a shout out for sure. So thank you to that.
She should. I know. It was great, and I'm very appreciative of it. It was just like I was like, I'd never been like set up before or anything.
My boyfriend really was set up.
You are?
Yeah, by his
That's
brother.
nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like that. I set you up before, remember?
I know. You set me up, but that ultimately was not right, Anna. So Anna on her show.
I'm a matchmaker.
Anna's a matchmaker.
Can I just say everyone I've set up has had sex, so I am kind of a winner in a lot of these. Okay, everyone but you. You may know.
Everyone but me has had sex with the person that you set them up with.
Okay.
I was like, I'll kiss you one time, but I don't think this is good.
Kiss? Yeah, like what kind? Make out? What
make out. Yeah, I guess we made it. There was tongue.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. There was tongue. Like, that makes me feel like a winner.
Okay. Yeah, Anna did this segment on her show, her very funny show, The Unemployed Show, which is now the podcast, where she would set people up at like once a season once a season.
Yeah.
So you set me up with an actor who was a comedian actor who was very short.
He was the most swiped right person on PINTER in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Number one in
New Jersey. But I mean, his face looks like he would be the most swiped on person in New Jersey. Like if you just have a picture of his face in New Jersey, you're like, yeah, duh, I'm into that guy.
Yeah, like, I have never met him.
What does the most swiped person in New Jersey even do? I don't know. People. Work?
He's a comedian, like editor, actor. You know,
actor, producer. I don't know.
Actor, producer, editor, like entertainment field. Yeah. He's got a face that's like an actor face.
Yeah.
But then you zoom out from that and you're like, oh.
I'm so sorry. You know, it was just a gamble. I don't guarantee marriage. I just, you know,
okay.
I hope they don't murder.
I was down to try. I'm down to like go. I was down to be set up. It
made for great television. It really did. So I appreciated, both of you going through with it.
Yeah, we really tried. But I am impressed by your track record of setups.
Thank you.
Why do you think you're good? Like, what makes you a good matchmaker, you think? Like, why? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I just can get people and I see what you're horny for. I
honestly, if you went into business, I hope that would be on your business card. Like, I see what you're horny for.
Yeah, I think that's
Anna Roisman matchmaking.
That'd be good.
That'd be so silly.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what is this? What is this receipt from Jared?
Okay, you're gonna laugh because you're waiting for something juicy, and this is just something I found. So we started dating in 2016. Okay, so here's a receipt I found. This was 1 year into dating.
Okay.
And I publicly posted this on Facebook to him, and I wrote, "Pay attention to me."
On the like little background when you could
I'm a fucking monster. Yeah. Like I wonder, I don't even remember how long it was until my true self came out. I literally
I mean, like, I guess a year.
I know. Our conversations were so like nice and normal and so I didn't screenshot anything. Like I asked him today, I was like, do we have any do you know how to get to the beginning of a text conversation? He's like, you scroll. And I was like, I'm not doing that. That's 4 years of 4 scrolling.
Years. Too much.
And most of them are like, what's for dinner? I found one that was like, what's for dinner? Oh, no, I said, I'm hungry. What's for dinner? And that was a Facebook message. And he goes, why are you messaging me on Facebook? And I guess, I said, I'm at a job. I have to be on the computer.
And you're hungry. You're hungry.
But that was like out of the blue. We never Facebook chatted. And I just like went with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, get me food. I have a need
and you should fill my need. Satisfy my need, please.
But I think that's how you know a relationship is healthy. If you don't have any receipts, if you don't screenshot your stuff from a relationship, like things are going normal and you're not. I think that when you are in a healthy relationship, you don't screenshot your conversations.
I think that's true. There's nothing dramatic. Why would you say
there wasn't? Like usually I think when I was dating all people, I would screenshot stuff. for sure. And I have some of them and send them to friends and be like, oh my God, what does this mean? Like, what's the punctuation? I'd like, analyze it. But with him, I didn't. And I guess that's why I was like, oh, he's a good one.
Yeah.
He's not a monster.
Driving me crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, I remember after we first started dating, I went away for a weekend with my best friend. We went to Maine and Boston. We went to school in Boston. So we like went and visited, and I didn't have service going to Maine, and Jared called and left a voicemail. And I like have it. And I was like, what the like I got it later on because I didn't have service. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Is he gonna murder me? Like, why is this guy leaving me a voicemail? And it was like, hey, hadn't heard from you. You haven't like texted me back, like just checking in to make sure you got to Maine okay.
So sweet. And you're like, he's a murderer.
I literally was like, I wouldn't call and leave a voicemail. Do I have to call back? I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure right now.
Do you ever call each other on the phone? I guess in the past 200 days, you haven't needed to.
No, always. In the past 200, I mean, I started going into work on Wednesdays only for HQ. And so like literally I'll be in the Uber, like I'll leave my apartment and get in a car and call him because I'm like, I don't know. We're I hate being codependent, but I think we are now. We used to be much more independent.
Well, our lives have been stopped. So
they really have. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Like last week I was walking in Soho, or I went to the Lower East Side and I walked the bridge, like on the bridge, I called him and I'm like, anyway, I've been gone for 20 minutes. What are you doing? Yeah. It's not healthy.
I mean, Jeffrey and I like FaceTiming.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. We don't live together, which is good because we quarantined together for 5 months, which was nice. But then I think having space. Again, because we've been dating for a year. So I think it's nice.
Yeah.
But we do love a FaceTime.
That's cool.
Yeah. We're young, we're fun. We're like, here's my face while I'm on the street.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. So you've dated someone for 8 years?
Mm-hmm. My ex-boyfriend and I met in college.
Okay.
We were best friends for a year. Mm-hmm. And like I was hooking up with other people, so was he. But we'd like get dinner and like talk about like who we were seeing. Like we were really close friends. And then we went away. After freshman year, we left for the summer, and then we came back to school sophomore year, and we started dating like in October. Like we hooked up one night in October. It was weird. Our friendship was like, we had talked over the summer, but like texting, calling, I don't know. And then like we came back to school and we like joked about like hooking up. Like we would just joke about it. We were like, I don't know. I mean, like if we were drunk enough, ha ha ha. And like we'd like flirt. And then in October, we like made out one night. And then we dated for it was like almost 8 years. It was like 7.5 years.
Wow.
Which is insane. I know.
So how was it transitioning from best friend to boyfriend?
It was like normal. Okay. It was really weird. I think having the summer like to be away from each other, like, especially when you're that age, when you're in college, like leaving for a summer, you change
a lot,
I think then. And then you come back and you're like, now what? I'm back in college.
Right.
Now what? Yeah. But I didn't.
Like 19, right?
Yeah. We started dating when we were 19. And I didn't like have boyfriends really in high school. I like hooked up with people, but I never had like a serious relationship before. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like by senior year, I mean, we lived together. We moved to New York together.
Wow.
And we moved to his uncle died. I never met the uncle, so I can say that. But he also had like issues. Anyway, his uncle had died, so we moved to his apartment in Soho, and we lived there.
You lived in his uncle's Soho apartment?
Yeah, for like 3 months.
Wow.
And for free. And then his parents were like, we're gonna get rid of the apartment. And I was like, well, I already know my commute, and I'm like totally comfortable in this area. So like I'll just stay in Soho. I didn't know that like rents were like for like a studio. It was like $5,000 in that building. I was like, what? Mm-hmm. Huh?
Oh my goodness.
I know.
I know. What a wild time to leave college and be like, Manhattan, city of dreams. And then you're like, oh, can't afford my dreams.
I know.
Bye.
But we made it work. Yeah. No, then we moved to like Hell's Kitchen, and we got a 1-bedroom on a 6th floor walk up that we could afford. And that worked out. So, but yeah, we like, we were basically like married. It felt like for a very long time. We got a dog together. We did
the dog you got together?
Yeah, my dog Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay
had another father, and they were very close, and he was really good to the dog. And we're still friends. We still talk. My ex-boyfriend and I. He's married now. He lives in Baltimore, Maryland, and we don't talk all the time, but we G-chat. We catch up. We'll text every so often, but
that's nice.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to get to that point, I'd say, but it was like.
Yeah, it's got to be devastating for him to be, I don't know. I guess when he got married, I can only guess what how hard that might have been.
It was a very ugly ending, but it was like until then it was a very nice relationship, I'd say, and I learned a lot, and but it was also we were very like close, and so like leaving that relationship was like I literally took 6 months and like stayed in my apartment. Like I didn't even go out. I didn't do comedy. I didn't do anything. I was like a mess. I saw a couple therapists. I found one I liked. It was like, whoo, it was wild.
You got to mourn that though.
It was really hard. I know. Yeah. And I didn't know that I'd ever I was like trying to just get so comfortable with myself because I was like, I don't know that I'll ever be in something so serious again. Like I didn't think I thought that was kind of it. I really did. Because 8 years when you're like going to college, leaving college, like that's like a big time.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk of your life and a really important one too. Like, because that's the most brain development that we go through is during that period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
really
lost.
Your brain is forming.
Yeah.
When you're with this person.
And I had like an entire marriage and like divorce. And I was like, I mean, thank God we weren't married, that would have made things harder, but we did live together, but we figured it out. It was
And
fine.
You got to keep Bobby Flay.
Yeah. Well, I also my grandma helped me buy him.
Okay.
And Matt and I like raised him together. I mean, he helped, of course, he paid for vet visits and he made up for it, but it was like, ultimately there was no like question. And I would have like let him see him all the time if he lived in New York, but he was going to Johns Hopkins. So he left to go there to do his residency. So I was like, well, bye. Like, he's my dog, Yeah. There wasn't even a conversation about the dog. But he did cry when he came to visit and like saw the dog. And I was like, oh God. He didn't cry for me. He just cried for the dog. It makes sense.
Well, sure. Fuck that.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay.
It was a lot, but I did find a read receipt from that relationship.
Oh yeah. Would love to hear.
Yeah. Again, where is this? I just found on Facebook, like, cause it's so weird to look at your old, like, that's how we communicated a lot during our relationship. Facebook was huge. And I found one that said 5 years is a long time. And I hope the next 5 are just as great and bi-coastal and full of fun. I love you, even though you choose to have a picture of you sucking face with a poodle. Cause his Facebook picture was him and Bobby Flay, my dog, like making out.
Oh, okay.
These are a bunch. And then it said, great weekend. I have a t-shirt ready that says I broke my thumb, but I saved Bobby Flay in LA. Cause I lived in LA for a year while he was in New York. So that was very hard. And Matt wrote nice June 2010, nice things on your wall. You are really good looking in your profile picture, even though you're not making out with a dog like I am. That was his response to me.
right on the wall.
Yeah.
This is
it was on the wall. Like, you
right
look
good.
good. Like things that should just be a text. We would just write them. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I remember people would like post back and forth. It wouldn't even be like the same stream sometimes.
Right. No, yeah. Those were separate. Because I don't think they had the comments then. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Right. I don't think you could have liked it either. You couldn't like that post. You just like post it.
Right.
I remember like it was a huge deal when they got rid of the dislike button. That was insane.
Oh yeah.
They got rid of that.
They should bring that back.
Yeah.
Okay, you two, I'm scared. I never want to see the dislike button ever again in my life.
Sometimes it's like, I don't know. Like, you're not supposed to like something sad, like dislike. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what the heart is for. If something's sad, you're like, I'm sending you my heart.
That's true.
Not like,
okay, I like shady. Then yeah, I want to dislike it. You know.
I could go for a dislike button. I'm with you. I feel like we're ready for it again.
Right.
That I like.
No.
There's no
My self-esteem cannot take it. My poor broken brain doesn't want a dislike button. No, thank you.
Anyway, those are silly receipts, but yeah, our entire relationship, silly. There's a lot more on there, like inside jokes too, that I'm like, why would we post these publicly?
It was a different time.
It really was.
It was an extremely different time. So you were long distance for a whole year?
A whole year, yeah. That was awful. I don't recommend that to anyone. But we were too young and like I didn't know how to, like, we should have broken up, I think, and like just been like on our own for the time being. But it was like I didn't know how to do that. I always said that too. I'm like, even afterwards, like we were still together. We were together for I was in LA. I guess we were like 4 or 5 years into our relationship, 5 years in. And I was like, I moved there and then, we'd fight all the time and the time difference, everything was so hard. I don't wish it on anyone, for that reason, but I'm like, some people have to do it. But we were young. I don't know. It was just like, why didn't we break up? We didn't know better. Like we didn't know how to live apart. So
that's really tough. And did you go to LA because you're like acting bug? You're like, here I am, Hollywood?
Most of my friends from college moved to LA. I was a TV production major. So a lot of people were working in production jobs in LA and I like kind of regretted not moving there, but I had a job in New York. So I moved straight to New York after school. But then the year after I went to LA and I loved living there. It was a transition for sure, but it was like, and I think the relationship like put a damper on it in the beginning. That was like part of the transition. You know what I mean? Like,
just being like, oh, how do we be ourselves and be independent and still like care for each other and give each other support?
Yeah. But he was in grad school at the time here. He was at Columbia. So he
did 2 grad schools.
Yeah. So he got his like, what's it called? He's a psychologist. So he got a master's and then he got his PsyD.
Wow.
Okay,
nerd.
I know. But I was like, I don't want to not go. I was like, I have money to go. Like, I was like, and I had a job there in LA because the restaurant company I worked for was like, you can work at the LA steakhouse. That's fine. So I like had a gig set up and I was like, I wouldn't wait around for a guy. I'm not like his wife. I don't need to sit back because he's in school. That was my plan. But he was going to come to LA in the spring and that was the entire fight because he didn't want to go to LA. He decided he didn't want to go and I had already signed like for a year.
Okay. And then you ended up coming back to New York. And now
I came back to New York after. Yeah, I spent most of my money I had at the time in LA and I looked great. I made a lot less money than I did in New York. And I was just like, I'll come back. Like I felt like I went, I didn't really, I had a manager in New York at the time. I was just like, I don't know.
I hear you. I mean, I tried LA for a month. I didn't do like the whole like go, but just I feel like sometimes you get that call and you're like, I need to, and not like the call like you're booked and you need to come to LA because you have a job, but like the call of LA, the city, like try LA, and then you're like, I'll go and there'll be palm trees and like suddenly for some reason I'm kind of lonely even though there's so much sunshine. Like
it's the loneliest. I think it's very lonely. I love it for a lot of reasons. And I've gone back for like work stuff and I love going back to do work there. But I'm like, I don't know that I'd just pick up and go again. I don't know. Maybe I would now because we don't really go out anyway. It's like you're lonely wherever the fuck you are. But
you could have a backyard, I guess. And a pool. You have your backyard, your LA pool. You could have a balcony and a pool.
I had both in LA, and I paid a third of what I pay in New York. Yeah, we had a rooftop pool, we had a balcony. It was sick.
Don't say rooftop pool to me. I will.
It was great.
I love that.
I had parties up there. I had a great life there. I'll go back. We'll go back at some point. But yeah, so I came back here and we were together. But it was harder. He was just like we hadn't lived together in a year. I don't know. It was just. And then we moved to our apartment, which was our last one together.
Okay. And then we broke up. Still in Hell's Kitchen, Brooklyn.
Where? What?
Where was
that apartment? Gramercy.
Yeah. Gramercy.
I lived in Gramercy.
Oh.
I came back. We lived in Gramercy, and that was a hard year. I guess that was when it ended.
Yeah. Wow. You had a whole lifetime, Anna.
I really did.
You had
we lived in like 5 apartments together total, which is crazy.
A lot.
Wow.
I know.
That's so much.
I know. And so like I never thought about being single or anything. I was kind of blindsided. He was a very he was very how do I say this? He was sick at the time. He had a very bad alcoholic problem that I didn't know about. So it was best that we parted ways. But it wasn't like a clean breakup. It was like 6 months of like seeing each other on weekends and this and that. And it was finally like it was done on my birthday of that year. Well, no, I
final breakup. I know.
No, it was like right before it because I thought it was for me. I thought if I can go through, I make birthdays a huge deal. I love birthdays and I like love throwing like a month-long party. And I was like, if I can get through my birthday, I told him not to come. And I was like, if I can get through my own birthday with just my friends and my family and he's not there, like, and I didn't tell people really what was going on. Like some close friends knew, but I was like, I talk about it. So yeah, I got through my birthday and I was like, I'm good. I'm good now.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Resilient.
So stupid.
No.
It sounds so dumb now. I'm like, if I can't make it through my birthday, like I don't need a man.
No, it makes sense to me because birthdays are like a pretty big marker for like, this is what do I want next for the next year? Reflect on how the past year's been. Like, what are my goals? How am I feeling?
Yeah,
So,
it was very unhealthy for me to try and think I could fix someone who had to fix so many things with themselves. Like, you really can't, you know, and you have to just give up and move on and like be true to yourself and
take care of yourself.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Like that was the hardest point I think of my adult life, that breakup. That like I don't even know if you call it. We never had like I'm breaking up with you conversation, but like that ending was like traumatic.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. You spent so much time together. Like, a large percentage of your life at that point, too. Because, I mean, like, it's been more years since then. But 8 years is very significant. 7.5 years is very significant when you're only, 25, 26, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah, we were young. And it was like... I wrote an article about it too, because I really felt like once I like made it through, I was like, oh my God, I bet there's so many people who are stuck in these relationships who won't get out of them. And like, I was so grateful I did. And I was like, I don't, like people just get so comfortable and you're so scared to be alone that you're like same within LA. I was like, why didn't we break up then? We didn't know how to be alone. And we were like, well, we have each other, we can still talk on the phone and we'll see. We visited every month or so. And like, I'd come back to New York a lot. It was just like, like you have to be comfortable with, that's why they always say like date, you can date when you're like, when you love yourself. And that's because you need to be able to be with yourself after you stop dating someone. I believe that. Like you need to be, if God forbid something happened tomorrow, you need to be okay to like just move on with you and someone else.
Yeah.
Sounds morbid.
It did sound a little morbid. At first it was very empowering and then it got kind of scary.
Oh, if you kill your boyfriend, like hopefully you can wake up the next day. I don't know.
Okay, also don't kill your boyfriend unless you can get away with it.
I won't. But I have to say the biggest thing that helps is like hooking up with someone new. After 8 years, I didn't think that would ever happen. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm back. Like that's all it took.
Yeah.
It's like
totally.
Hooking up with one person and you're like, woo, any breakup for anybody. I always say, I'm like, just go out and like have sex, like hook up. I mean, not in a pandemic, but like have sex with someone and you're like, your ego will change. You like mental state is just a new level.
The dick of another, a healing,
I guess, right? Just like go out and like make out with someone.
Oh
yeah. And you're like,
you just saying that right now, like I'm fully like titillated for sure. Yeah. Like that is, there's nothing hotter. There's nothing hotter than that.
I guess I'm still hot shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll go and you'll hook up with someone. It'll be so good because you'll have no stakes in it. You're just like, I'm doing this for me and not to date you or not to, not to use someone, but like literally like just pure fun with no.
Yeah. Because I feel like you're so in your head and thinking like, okay, this person was with me for whatever stretch of time. And it's like, okay, well, this is what relationships are, whatever. And then like, it's like, okay, other people can fucking like me in a different way. And it just feels great. Yeah. It feels fantastic.
It really does. Yeah. I found a read receipt. You'll love this. While you guys were talking on one, I didn't realize I But it was the first guy I hooked up with after my 8-year relationship, when I was like the virgin who didn't know what to do.
Okay.
It's actually a very funny story of how I met this person. So I used to see Broadway shows alone a lot together, by myself. That's like my heal. When I was first single, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't know what to do. When he moved out, I should say, we weren't really apart yet. And I see movies alone a lot and Broadway shows, and I would go and just get a cheap standing ticket or a cheap ticket, because getting a one ticket is much easier too. And I would see shows alone a lot. And I went one day, I like got dressed in a cute outfit and I went to Times Square I wanted to see Pippin.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good revival.
Oh, great. And I wanted to go, and I got on the line, and like literally the person in front of me on the, like, you know, the rush ticket line, like got the last one. And I was like, no. And I had cried all morning. I just was like, I was severely depressed at this point. I was so thin.
Of course.
Like, so I looked great, but I was just like a mess mentally. And I went to like 4 other theaters, and everything, it kept happening. I was like, oh, I'm not even going to get to see a play tonight. Like, I wanted to see something so badly. That's me. I need to go to the theater and just sob. Yeah. And I finally got a ticket to it was the Tom Hanks. He was in what's her name's play. Nora Ephron had a play. I can't remember what it was called. It was Tom Hanks. It was a really good cast.
Yeah.
He was the lead.
Was Elizabeth Moss in it too? No.
Maybe. It was like 5 big actors. I forget the play, but I got a ticket. I got a rush ticket to that, and I was like, this will be epic. This will be fun. But I was still so pissed about the whole Pippin thing. So I like went home to Gramercy. I like walked my dog. I come back to the theater district at like 7, you know, or like something like that. And I was alone. So I wasn't like going to pre-dinner theater. So I went to Juice Generation to get a smoothie on 9th Avenue. And my phone was dying. I guess I forgot to charge my phone. And I was so mad. I'm like, oh my God, I have no phone. And I'm going to walk into this theater now. And I'm like, at 8 o'clock, I'm going to see this show. So I get a smoothie and I sit in the window. They had like a little counter there, and I sit in the window, and this guy is getting a smoothie. He's like, is this seat taken? And it's so small. I don't know if you know the 9th Avenue Juice Generation. So fucking small.
I imagine it's a box.
It's a box, and there's 2 stools that like look out onto 9th Ave. I'm literally sitting in the one by the door. So like it's uncomfortable for someone to sit in the inside one. You know, I was that person. I was like, it's my day. I can spend the whole afternoon trying to get a cheap ticket. And this guy is like, can I sit there? And I was like, sure. And I don't even like pay attention. And I'm like on my phone, and my phone is like 8%. So I'm like, oh no. And he's like, what kind of smoothie did you get? He's making conversation. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk to him. And he's fine.
He's cute.
He's okay. Yeah, he's
young?
cute.
He's cute.
No, he looked like my age, maybe, you know.
Okay. Because it's not like creepy older guy. It's
no. It wasn't creepy. He had a very friendly face. He was nice. You know, He wasn't like scaring me. Okay. And then he starts talking to me, and I was just like, you know, and he's like, what are you doing here? Like, it was weird. It was like closing, you know what I mean? It was like 7 o'clock at a Juice Generation. I was like, oh, I'm going to a show or whatever. And he was like, oh, what show are you seeing now? And I was like, I'm going to see this play. I was like, I really wanted to just show tonight. And, you know, I had been crying all day. I probably looked like shit. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, well, I have work. And I was like, oh, weird. And then we talked more, and I was like, what do you do? And he was like, I'm a musician. I play drums. And I was like, oh, or percussion. I was like, oh, cool.
Okay.
And then he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm, you know, we talked, I was like, oh, have you played like Broadway? Like, do you play Broadway show? He's like, yeah. And then he was like, I used to play in Hair. And I was like, oh, no way. My friend Hannah Shankman was in Hair. And we like talk about Hannah, and he knows Hannah. And I was like, oh, he's not a stranger anymore. We have a friend in common. And then he was like, all right, I got to go. Like, it was so nice to meet you. Like, can I find you? I'm going to find you on Facebook. And my phone had died, so I had to have a full conversation with him. Plus, it was fine. And I was, oh, what show do you work at? Like, I didn't ask until he was leaving. And he's like, I play drums for Pippin. Have a good night. And I was like, what? And And then I was like, oh my God. I'm like, wait, I tried to see that show. I got up at 5 a.m. to like fucking wait in line. Like I tried so hard to see Pippin that day. And he plays drums for Pippin. I was like, oh my God. So then we start, he Facebook messaged me and we start chatting and we like, I guess we met up and then we hooked up. We hooked up a couple times. But he was one of those
that you saw for the drum, the rock show?
No, different. I've dated
multiple
like 4
drummers.
Yeah, multiple drummers. But he, after like within 2 times of hooking up, I realized, oh, this is how men are going to treat me now. Like anytime you have sex with someone, they think you want to fucking date them or marry them. You know, and I was like, I'm just out of a like long relationship. Like I'm not ready.
Yeah.
The person, no. But that's how they reacted. I learned, right? As soon as you sleep with someone, they were like obnoxious. I found this Facebook chat. He used to call me dude, red flag number 1.
But he's a drummer. That makes sense for a drummer.
Drummers everywhere.
He's a drummer for Broadway. Okay. He's not a drummer like in a fucking rock band. He's a percussionist on Broadway.
Okay, but he's not the flautist. The flautist is not calling you dude. The drummer.
He's not playing Rent. He's playing Pippin. Okay, let's think about, you know, yes, he played Hair, but Tor. Okay. So he wrote, dude, come on Wednesday. Because Wednesdays he'd go to this bar in the East Village that had like a live band that his friends played in. And I hadn't heard from him in a while because I go, oh, I get an invite because I'm sad. I haven't seen you in many months. I said, I'm 73 pounds overweight right now. And it's awesome because my friend had passed away. And I remember in this conversation, I was like, I know when this was. And I was like, I'm sad. My friend died. Anyway, he goes, can't wait to see that. I'm into big girls now.
Okay.
Wow.
No. And then he goes, shut up, butthead.
Butthead.
This is dude and butthead in the same fucking 4 lines. He goes, shut up, butthead. It's actually my first week I'm free in a while.
Oh my God.
Monster.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the guy. He's the one, butthead.
I'm like, I can't believe I actually went out. I don't know if I went on that Wednesday, but I definitely saw him a bunch. Like, and then there was a time where I was like, I don't want to date you. We can be friends. And we stopped hooking up and we chatted every so often and we were friends. I like went to his birthday party, you know, he had a new girlfriend. I'm very friendly with all people I've hooked up with. I don't have any exes that I'm like.
That's a special skill.
Wow.
Thank you.
Put that on a resume.
I mean, some people I don't really talk to because they're just, but not for any reason other than like we fell out of touch. Like,
but I'm sure it has like in large part to do with the fact that you don't know these people exclusively from online. That you met these people, right?
Maybe. I never thought about that.
I mean, if you're meeting people like exclusively online, like me, it's just like, okay, they just like fall out and it's like, we didn't actually have a connection at all. Right.
You're just a number in my phone. Yeah. You're a name.
There's people on the sidewalk sometimes and pretend like you don't see them. It's just, That's very wise. Cause people always say to me, Anna, that's so weird. You're friendly with people you've hooked up with. And I'm like, I don't know. I can, we're not like connected like that anymore. I can just talk, see this and like, I don't want to sleep with them anymore. I'm like, yeah, they're just a person. Like, I don't want to have bad blood, so we're friendly. Yeah, for sure. But you can have bad blood with someone that you met on Grindr, on whatever.
Tinder, and just be like,
yeah.
You can have an enemy, a mortal enemy for the rest of your life from someone that you met on Tinder.
Oh God.
But Anna, did you see Pippin?
Oh my God, did I see Pippin? First of all, my aunt took me for my birthday and then he let me come and see it in the pit after we stopped hooking up, I think, actually. And I
in the pit?
Yeah, I went one time. I sat with the percussionist. I sat and he was like, you can come and watch and like see the show from the pit. So I didn't see the show that time, but it was a very cool experience to like be in a Broadway pit. That was really fun. And that was like, it was nice to see it then because we weren't like dating. So I was like, it was just a fun night, like seeing a show from the pit. He probably just wanted to show off, like, you want to see how good of a drummer I am?
Yeah,
like
watch me drum.
yeah.
Watch me hit the sticks or whatever drummers say.
Butthead.
Butthead.
But it was a very good thing for me to like meet someone and hook up with someone and like learn how to text, even though I let this person treat me like a fucking fraternity brother. Like absolutely not. But
we grow over time.
But I look at it as like that was like a way for me to move on for sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And it all came from a 7 p.m. Juice Generation smoothie.
I know.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild? I mean, the thing that like got me that I was like, okay, I'll talk to this person was that he played for Pippin, and I had set out that day to see that show and I wasn't seeing it. And I was like, what is the universe giving me right now?
Literally a drummer.
Yeah.
Literally the universe gave you a drummer.
I know.
Sent it straight to you in your smoothie.
And it was like 7 or 8 months after my ex-boyfriend had left our apartment. So I was like, you know,
yeah, it's time.
But I'm like, he probably thought, what's this girl fucking sitting in this juice place seeing a show by herself on like a Friday night? Like that was an amazing Friday night for me. I was like so happy that I did that.
Yeah. I love seeing plays and movies alone.
I know.
I love it.
No one can tell you their opinion.
It's
all you.
Yeah, you just get it. And also I love to cry, but surrounded by strangers.
Yeah.
I love that.
But sometimes, like, especially after watching like a movie by myself, I'm just like, I sort of want like the audience camaraderie. And I'm like as I'm like walking out of the theater, like I'll ask like a couple like, that was an interesting choice or something.
Yeah. You're in the elevator and you're just like, well, who liked it? Hey.
Yeah. All right,
I love that.
In the elevator, everyone say like 2 words. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it saved me that year. I was like not doing anything, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna start seeing. I saw so many shows by myself. It was so great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Also cheaper with one.
Way
cheaper with one,
and you get a better seat with one. Like,
you do.
Yeah. Why have a date at all ever for the theater? Sorry.
I know. It's so funny. But that was a very that going back to that relationship. I'm like, oh God. Is it a relationship? I guess it was. We hooked up for a couple months.
We hooked up a couple times, and then he let you watch him at work. He took you. Take your ex to work day.
Mm-hmm.
You had that.
Yeah, that's what it was. But the first time we hooked up, like the next day, he was like, "Listen, like I'm kind of not in the place to like be in a relation." I was like, "What?" Like, what?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, "Is this how this is gonna be?" Like. I didn't get it. It was so fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't like that. But also, I don't know. Sometimes on first dates, if it's an app date, that's something that you do want to ask. It's like, ultimately, what are you looking for from this app? Just because if you want a boyfriend, you don't want to be with someone who's like, I don't want to be a boyfriend.
Wait, you asked that on the first, dating, like the first date?
I used to be like, so when was your last, what's going on for you in your dating life right now? Ultimately, like they were a guest on the podcast.
I would have
interviewed them.
For you? Did you just have a breakup? Like I want to know what I'm working with.
If you're on a date, I mean, if you're on an app, like maybe I'm being naive because I think people do just want to fuck, but
if you're on an app, you might just want to fuck.
I guess I respect the people who are like, I just want to fuck. Like if they say that to you, if you ask them that and they say that. But I would think if you're on an app, like there is some level of expectation of like, you do want to date someone, right? If you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like a second or third.
Okay, maybe it's a second
thing. Yeah,
maybe it's a second date thing. Maybe sometimes I get into it too fast on a first date. But I also want to know what I'm working with.
Would you ask anyone, or was it like someone you were like attracted to and
someone I was actually attracted to and interested? If it's someone I'm never going to see again, I don't care.
It's like first meeting, I hate you, but like ultimately, what are you looking for? Yeah,
I hate you and I never want to see you again. Yeah, but are you looking for something serious? Are you looking for something serious with someone who despises you or what?
Wow.
The texting thing is so bad. I advise all my friends to not text someone they're dating.
Yeah.
Like, I know that sounds bad, but text when
good advice.
Check in. Sure. Check in. Like, give yourself like a couple texts to be like, how's your day or whatever. But like, I can't
all day texting becomes something different. But I mean, like there's some people who are really good with banter over text and are so funny and so fun, but then you don't have anything to talk about in person.
Oh yeah, good. And tech relationships, and they went nowhere in real life. Like,
yeah,
like especially like a comedian who I'd meet, and like then we'd text for like weeks at a time, and then it was like we'd have text once, and that was it. And then it was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Even though
this was more fun,
was joyful.
Yeah, this was
I loved the
text.
Yeah,
it's true. But yeah, I can't. No, don't get into it with people, and then just like, and then it sets it up. Then you're not even dating yet, and then you go on date, and then God, they don't text you for 2 days. You lose your fucking mind. You're used to this rhythm.
Yeah, you're like, I was addicted to the banter. And where did it go?
Right, and you screenshot everything, and you analyze it. And you're like, what? Where did it slip? What did I do? Yeah. I used to do that. And
same. Truly same. And I think, Anna, you've been so full of wisdom.
Oh my God, thank you.
Oh my God,
thank you.
Oh my God, I'm carrying things with me.
Oh, wow. I hope so. I was like, I don't know if my receipts are any good. They're not like juicy new receipts,
They don't have to be. We're just trying to get to the heart of what dating is,
Yeah.
One receipt at a time. Sometimes 2 or 3.
And dating could be, you could meet people in person, ultimately.
You could. I have successfely done it for 74 years. So it's
74.
That's beautiful.
This whole time Anna's been 74.
Yeah. And it happens when you least expect. And like, I think be open to your friend setting you up, because I think that's, that's kind of cool too, in a way. Like they know you enough to like, or they know them enough to think you might hit it off.
There might be something. I agree. Share your networks. 100%.
Yeah. Andrew, are you single or not? I didn't gather.
I'm seeing someone now, but I mean, like, I would be interested in whoever. If you have someone, I'm just interested in like who people would assign to me. You know what I mean?
Well, I would ask you a bunch of questions before. I wouldn't just like.
She's going to send you a Google form, Andrew.
Yeah. I feel like in the past, like people have been like, oh, you'd really like my friend. And then their friend is like fucking annoying. And I'm like, oh, what does that say about me?
Yeah. I ask very important questions like, what is your bagel order?
Oh, well, yes. I mean, we talked about me being plain earlier. So it is a plain bagel or a cinnamon raisin bagel toasted with butter or cream cheese. It's like literally could not be more simple.
You never do like any fish, any vegetable, any egg.
So here's the thing. My mom's cousin, who's like this like a debutante in Manhattan. She was just like, like we were like out to lunch one day, and she asked this exact question. She like, because we were having a conversation, and was like, I'm not explorative in like food or anything. I'm like pretty bland when it comes to food. And then she was like, so what do you get on your bagel? Just salmon or what? And I'm like, are you kidding? Like salmon is the bar? Like
you're like plain bagel with butter. Maybe I'll toast it if I'm feeling frisky.
Yeah, salmon? Don't go crazy.
I know. Salmon is like ground zero for bagel order. I hate that.
Well, I would think that's a very like naive order. It's not a weird order. You're not going to murder someone's family. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're like safe. Yeah. Too safe.
Yeah.
It's too safe. I understand.
Have an onion, have a scallion, have a fish.
Yeah.
Try a garlic bagel.
Yeah, wait, why can't I just be where I am right now and then you just give me people who is
based on that?
Yeah.
There's got to be other plain bagel with butters out there. I know.
Oh, I know there are. But I feel like sometimes maybe like the match is someone that isn't a plain bagel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're looking for someone who's an everything bagel with bacon, egg, and cheese, maybe.
Oh, a bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah.
They know how to fuck.
I don't know about bacon, egg, and cheese knowing how to fuck. I feel like sometimes they smell a little bit. I don't know. I just
on an everything bagel. That's a wise.
That person fucks. I actually think that person fucks.
They've read everything. Yeah. Yeah.
True. You're gonna learn everything about someone by their bagel order. At least in New York City. In LA, no.
Yeah, in LA, we got to ask about what's your acai bowl. What do you put in your green smoothie? So Anna, how does everyone follow you? Because they should follow you.
That would be great. You can find me at Anna Roisman all over social media. You can find
Everywhere.
the podcast at Unemployed with Anna on Instagram or Unemployed Podcast on Twitter. There's not one yet, which is upsetting. But yeah.
Gorgeous.
I posted on mine. Thank you. Yeah, this is so fun.
This was the most fun.
Cathartic.
Yeah, right? We gotta, you just gotta get it out there.
You really do.
You really do, especially at noon on a Friday.
Okay.
We're fresh for the weekend.
We are, yeah. I'm gonna tell my ex-boyfriend that I talked all about him on a podcast today, and he's gonna be like, "What's the name and number? I need to make sure no one in my life sees it."
Well, there's at least one person on Twitch who knows all about it. So
who?
I don't know. One person's watching us.
I didn't know you did this on Twitch. I mean, I did, but I'm not a Twitcher.
Yeah, me either, really. But it's fun because I feel like we have to be more exciting because there might be one person watching. You know, we can't be tired.
You gotta always be exciting. Yeah,
I am
giving them a shout.
One person. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Can they chat?
Yeah, but this person has not chatted. We have a shy viewer.
That's okay.
Got it.
That's okay. You're allowed to be shy. Maybe next time they'll chat. And maybe next time Andrew will try locks. We don't know.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay.
Andrew, you better find me on social media and you better tag me if you get a bagel with something other than butter or cream cheese.
Tag Anna. That's it.
If I don't, I'm not gonna get fucking dragged. Also,
try whitefish. That's my that'll try whitefish.
Whitefish. Is it at most locations?
Every location has whitefish salad.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I will ask for it next time on a plain bagel toasted.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Still. Okay. So at least I get my plain in there somewhere.
Yeah. You can have a plain bagel with whitefish. It'll change your world. It's the best. I like it more than lox.
I'll let you know if it changes my world for the better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if listeners, you want to know how that goes, you have to follow us on Instagram to find out when we're recording live on Twitch again. Thank you so much for listening. This was the Receipts Podcast.